Hi everybody, this is Beth McCullough and I blog at stampingmom.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm here on Wednesdays at noon Central Time live every week. And then I do mystery stamping on Friday starting at noon. It goes all weekend. In fact, I think maybe we'll extend it to all week long so people have plenty of time to make their cards. So I want to show you what we're making today. We're making Christmas cards, and my sweet husband, Steve, is here. What do you think about Christmas cards day of Labor Day week?
It seems a bit early, but as you've explained to me, it takes a while to put all these together, get all the supplies, so, it's never too early to start planning.
Right. So, like if you were to make Christmas cards, you could go into the Fall Mini Catalog. It's right at the beginning on page 4. And there's this Joy of Sharing all-inclusive card kit. And it makes 15 cards for only $35. What do you think it means that it's an all-inclusive kit, Steve?
It must have everything you need to make the cards.
You're so smart. Everything. It's got the stamp set, the ink, the block, the adhesive. So even if you own no stamping equipment whatsoever, you can make these cards, which is pretty cool.
So what if somebody didn't have the catalog?
They could get the catalog from me. I would send it to them.
And how would they contact you to ask you to?
They could email me at beth@stampingmom.com. Any other questions?
Just trying to help out.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. So in the kit that is everything, it shows you 4 different variations. So if you have a photo you want to put in your Christmas card, hello, Linda Lace. Hi, everybody else. I don't see everyone getting on because of the way my camera is. But you can make these Christmas cards and put in a photo.
Wait, you can use photos?
You can.
Photos of us?
Yeah, except we don't have any current photos. I went downstairs to look to see, and it's like a walk down memory lane. Here's a photo I found. What do you think this is from, Steve?
That's from prom. Senior year of high school.
Our senior year prom. This is 1986. So then 4 years later, at the end of college, we got married. And Steve really wanted to wear a white tuxedo again because he liked it so much for prom. So here he is looking almost identical in our wedding picture. And obviously things got poofier in 1986 because I went from the straight dress to the poofy dress.
I didn't notice the poofiness, just the beautiful woman in the photos.
Well, and look at straight hair to poofy hair. This is definitely 1986. This is after Farrah Fawcett, I think.
I just noticed I looked a little more poofy in the second photo.
That happens. Hello, Marceline. So I'm showing the card kit, which is the all-inclusive kit, but I'm also going to show you this card, which I made from scraps from the card kit. This is actually on my blog today too. But so here is the card made exactly like one of the examples. Almost exactly like it. I guess I popped this up on the outside, but it's this card here. So we are going to make a second card and then we'll make some alternative cards. So in the card kit, you get 15 cards in envelopes. You get this pretty gold foil, and that's what I use to make other cards with. So I glued down the foil onto the card. The other thing different about these is they're 5x7 cards, so a little fancier, a little bigger, but the postage is still the same. So I glued on my rim, and I glued on my red.
And these are cut when they come to you?
Yeah, they come like that. Here, let me show you. It actually comes like this. And then you just take this part out. And then I saved this part because, is it because I'm Norwegian, or why is it that
you believe in recycling?
Recycling and not wasting money.
Not wasting.
So we're gonna make a card out of that. So please stick around. Okay. So in the stamp set, you get this stamp, wishing you a season filled with the special warmth of friendship, the precious joy of sharing, and the wonderful blessings of happiness. So that's what I used on that one. This one is from one of my other favorite sets, the Dove of Hope. And it says, may your season be filled with all the wonder and blessings of Christmas. So that's what I'm going to use on this one. And I put dimensionals on the back. These die cuts all punch out. They're all in the kit. I hope everyone's doing well today. If you're here live, you should tell me what's going on in your world. It was warm here 2 days ago, and now it's fall. It's very chilly. It's weird how it happens so fast, isn't it, Steve?
It is. It was. I heard somebody say it's like driving on a county road and seeing a policeman. You go from 75 to 55 in no time flat.
Would you go 75?
No, I would never do that, but I'm just saying. It was an analogy one of my friends told me.
When you were younger, you used to get picked up more. What made you stop?
It was just a misunderstanding.
A misunderstanding?
Like my not understanding the speed limit.
I think after you got picked up when you had a child in the car, wasn't that your last ticket several years ago?
Ryan and I were just talking about that. Ryan, our 24-year-old, when he was younger, when he was very young.
Were you going to taekwondo practice
11 years
Adele?
old, we were going to taekwondo. We're very proud of our son to get his black belt when he was like 12 years old. But we had to go to Adele to go to taekwondo practice many, many times. And sometimes we didn't get started quite on time. And this one time I was trying to make up time. And
did he get in trouble at taekwondo if he was late? Was that part of the deal?
Yeah, they were getting very irritable about that, saying that if he's responsible like a black belt, he would get there on time. And then he told me that I was ruining his black belt chances. So anyway, we talked about that, and I reminded him that for a second I thought about arguing with the policeman until I looked over and saw his great big wide eyes looking at me like, Dad, what's going to happen? And I realized I had to set an example.
Yes, you shouldn't argue with police. Okay, so here's the 2 different cards. It also comes with these little glimmer dots, and all the adhesive is already on them. You just pull them off and sprinkle them around. So if you see these in real life, they're really quite pretty. And that would be an easy way to get some Christmas cards done. So now what I did is I took some of the pieces. So when you open, I showed you how you pull this out. And in fact, let's get the trimmer and I'll show what I did. I took this piece out and it's already die cut. So you have all this gold foil. If you look in the catalog, gold foil is actually pretty expensive.
It's like gold.
Hello, Ruby. Steve, tell Ruby what your mom's name is.
My mother's name is Ruby, and I always love it when I find other people named Ruby.
Yes.
Because I think it's a beautiful name.
We have a sweet little neighbor girl who's about, how old do you think Ruby is?
She's probably 12.
Or maybe 10.
10.
But her name is Ruby, so we love that.
She was just outside doing cartwheels the other day.
Okay, so what I did for this is I took this scrap piece because gold foil is expensive, and I lined up. Can you see? Can you tell on the camera, hun? Can you see the top and the bottom?
Yes.
I'm putting them in the groove of the trimmer. Actually, I'm going to move it over to 1 because I'm going to make a 2-inch space. So I'm going to put the top corner on 1 and the bottom on 1. And just
Donna
cut it
is
off.
tuning in from Arizona, and I just am so curious to find out what temperature it is there.
Did you hear that, Donna? Steve wants to know the temperature. Donna just voted for my card, too. I'm going to show you this real quick. I enter my cards in an international contest through Kylie in Australia. And this is my card this month. And I've had some people concerned that it's not hard. Usually I do a fancy fold card. And I did something simple, and it's your fault, isn't it, honey?
Well, for those of us that are card challenged, we care about beauty and not difficulty. And I think it's an absolutely gorgeous card.
So this one was easy to make. If you go to my Facebook page or my blog, it's on there and how to vote. I would so appreciate it if you would go vote for me. It just takes a couple minutes, and the directions are on my blog and on my Facebook page, both at Beth McCullough and Stamping Mom. But Donna, thank you for voting, and thanks to everyone else who voted. Okay, so I lined up these corners at 1 inch, and I'm going to do it on both sides.
85 degrees in Green Valley, Arizona. It is cold and rainy here in Des Moines today.
Okay, so then what I did is I took shimmery white paper. Look at that. Can you see the sparkle in it? And I want this to go. It's a little different than the card I made. Where did I put it?
Oh, that's really cool how you did the angle so that it would fit right on the corner of the card like that.
See, this one that's on my blog today, I just had go to here. But then when I was getting ready for our video today, I was like, I'll put it up in the corner, and then I'm going to cut it off here. And I know this is 5 inches. Donna says it's been over 100 and is pleasant for us. You know, we need to come visit you in Arizona.
I think so. Are you begging for an invite there?
Did you hear that? Donna, do you have an extra room? Okay, so I'm cutting that off at 5 inches, so it will fit my card perfectly. And I think you should help us. You know how to big shot, right, honey?
I do. I'm good at cranking.
Okay, so I'm going to use adhesive just because I want it to stay. I would use glue, but we're not going to give it time to dry. So the best thing to do is actually put your foil on your paper, and then we're going to trim the edges off because it probably isn't on here perfectly. So nice of you to take a break from work to come help me at noon.
So see,
is this your lunch break?
This is almost what I call MacGyvering, where you approximate it and then you fix it. It's like you intend to fix it.
What things do you MacGyver, honey?
Lots of things. I reattached our son's bumper the other day. And
did you MacGyver it?
I did. I kind of made it up as I went along.
Hi, Mary. Mary says it's cold and snowing. Oh my goodness. Donna just put a hot tub in, Steve.
Oh, yes.
And they've been hauling gravel for over a week.
I heard that it's snowing in Colorado already. And so we just bought our Epic passes to go to Park City, and I'm glad to hear they're going to get some snow in the mountains.
We are skiers. Our older boys and Steve and I will go skiing in February, assuming people can go places in February. Okay, do you see what I'm doing now? If you don't have this Evergreen Forest 3D folder, it's super pretty. And so I adhered my gold foil that was the scrap from the kit, or use gold foil if you don't have the kit. And I put it on my card, and this is 5 inches by 3 3/4. I want you to use the blue plate and that one. I have the new Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine, but I also have my old Big Shot because I leave one set up for embossing and the other for cutting. And embossing is easier. So we're going to put this on the platform. We're going to put the blue plate on the top and just run that through the old Big Shot. And then when it comes out, isn't this pretty? Can you see? So I have trees on the white and on the gold. And then I also did a Merry Christmas, and I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. Hopefully. Well, Steve is getting that. What do you think, Steve? Open it up. Are you impressed?
I get to open it. It's like a present. Ooh, it's stuck. Oh, that's neat.
Look at that.
That's really...
Do you feel accomplished?
I do, and I did that. Actually, you did it, but I turned the handle.
You did.
I love it on the foil.
Yeah. But isn't it kind of pretty? Okay, so I did one totally on the foil. This one, Peace on Earth, that's from Dove of Hope. I did this one totally on the foil. But isn't it kind of cool when it's both, but yet the trees line up?
Yeah, I think
Which do you like better?
I think it's really cool. My Here's the thing: whenever you do this embossing on white, it's so beautiful when you see it. But I always worry that the people looking out on camera won't appreciate it.
Okay, so trust Steve. It's really pretty in real life. So all I did for this card to make it like this one is I'm going to adhere it. This is cherry cobbler. And then it's on a layer of mossy meadow. And the cherry cobbler is 4 by 5 1/4. If you have any questions, Steve is going to try to, are you on there, hun?
I am, I'm looking.
He's going to try to answer questions on the computer while I'm doing this. So I'm just going to line this up. When you use the glue, you have a little wiggle room. Like I'm a little high. So I'm going to bring it down a little bit.
I forgot to say that Mary Ellen is on from Montana. And Montana is one of my favorite places in the world, too. Remember our week at the Dude Ranch in West Yellowstone?
We should tell them about that. So we have 4 adult kids. And I grew up with a cousin who had horses. So I love to horseback ride. I never had a horse, but I got to ride a horse a lot for someone who didn't own one. And so when the kids were little, I was like, honey, let's go to a dude ranch and go horseback riding. And it was fun, wasn't it?
Oh, it's a wonderful week. And the kids loved it. And the thing is, we took these wonderful trips and the kids loved it, but I'm not sure that they appreciated just how fortunate they were to get to do things like that. And last night I went to trivia night with the millennials and filled in all the 80s questions that they didn't know because they reminded me they weren't born yet. And
how do you feel when they tell you they weren't born yet? And where do you think this should go? So the Hark the Herald is in the middle. I just have this little Christmas.
I don't think you can do white on white, can you?
Okay. Can I put it down here?
Yeah. Although then that covers up some of the beautiful foil.
But it doesn't cover up all of it.
No, you want to see the tops of the trees in particular. I'd go in that corner.
Okay. But do you remember, tell them what happened. Was it our first day out? We had a dude, it was after cell phones came, and we had a dude who was leading our family on this ride. And he was on his cell phone.
Right.
And we had stopped, what's the store called in South Dakota? Wall Drug. Mm-hmm. We stopped at Wall Drug and got the kids who didn't have cowboy boots or cowboy hats. We got Ryan a cowboy hat anyway. And so Ryan has on his cowboy hat and it falls off. And so Steve's saying, hey, dude, I don't remember his name.
I don't remember either.
Cowboy dude who's leading us.
Hey, we need help back here. A little help.
Because they told us we couldn't get off our horses. Well, I told you we're cheap, right? So Steve is like, we can't lose this hat we just bought. And our son will be upset because he was, 12 or something.
Yeah. And I was riding a massive horse because that's before my workouts and my weight loss. And so they had to put me on a massive horse to go up these mountains. It's like a Clydesdale.
So Steve hops off the horse.
No, dives off the horse because it's so tall.
He dives off the horse and he retrieves the hat, right? So he's got the hat and he goes to get back on the hat and he's in the very back of our line and I'm right in front of him. So then what happened?
So the thing about having a horse that's that tall and a guy like me that's not that flexible, it's really hard to get your leg up over the back of that horse. When you're getting in the saddle all by yourself. So I almost made it. But the toe of my boot just happened to kick the horse in the rear. And
it was not good.
That created excitement because my horse reared up and took off. And I almost stayed on the required 7 seconds for the rodeo.
But wait, do you remember what your horse did?
Well, he just brushed your horse.
He brushed my horse. My horse bucked, so now I'm falling off my horse.
And she was next to the cliff, by the way. So It was more dramatic when she was falling off.
So it was, that was, actually, it got better the next day when we had a mountain lion experience. But anyway, that's for another day. Okay, so Here's the cards that I made with the kit. Super pretty. Here's the cards I made with scraps from the kit. That foil is the center of that. This is the foil I bought from Stampin' Up. So you can tell it's not quite the same. This foil is shinier. Okay, I did some other things with the cards from the kit. What I did here is I took Mossy Meadow paper and I ran it through with that same evergreen 3D embossing folder. And then I used shimmer paint, and I probably got carried away. This shimmer paint, I put it in a spritzer with some alcohol, and I spritzed the Mossy Meadow. Maybe too much. I was hoping to get snow on the trees, but instead it kind of turned the trees. Actually, you know what I did? I cut one of these cards apart. So it's this paper embossed with the shimmer paint on it.
It really changes what it looks like. It's a lighter green, but it's a shiny lighter green.
So it's pretty in real life, but I didn't put this on my blog this morning because you couldn't tell. It almost looked gray here. So that's what I did with that. And I got on a roll. I was having fun. So this, again, is the card from the card kit. And I embossed some green trees. And you know, I love the Dove of Hope. So I made a dove with a 3D wing. And then I embossed in gold the peace, joy, and love and popped it up. And do you like this one?
I do. I like the three-dimensional, the wings of the dove are kind of popped up.
Yeah, it's not as shiny as the gold. Okay, Donna asked which kit. In the fall mini catalog, this kit is on page 4. And it's called Joy of Sharing. It's $35 and you make 15 cards. And this card is made exactly like the kit says. This card is made like the kit says, but I used a sentiment out of the Dove of Hope. And you can also use this kit if you want to send pictures. But like I said, we don't have a current family picture, unfortunately.
But with all the recycling you're doing of the leftover pieces, how many cards do you think you'll get out of it total?
Well, this is supposed to be for 15 cards, but well, knowing me, I'll probably get 25, maybe. Well, actually, I could get 30 if I use the center on each one, because I have these pieces left over. And I even tried, you could cut this thinner and you could put, well, here's one I did it with. There's more. I really did go wild making cards. So I had this little strip left, which was also from the foil. That's from the center of this. And I just took some thick Whisper White cardstock and did the trees and peace, joy, and love, which the world needs a lot right now.
So let's see if you turn it just a little bit sideways so people can see.
If you can see the embossing on that. And then I did put, this is, what is that called? On some of these, I use gilded gems. And on others, I use this. Mine are almost gone. Wonderful gems. They have red with sparkles, and then they have clear with sparkles. And that's what I used on here. And I wasn't sure. You should tell me. I thought about sprinkling some on here because the white card is kind of plain. But it's pretty too. So far, can you see all these cards? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that I made just playing with the kit, and I have a ton left in the kit. So, you know, that's part of the fun of this. You don't have to make them all the same, and just start making them and see what hits you. Which one is your favorite? Here, I'll number them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't even know if you can see 6, 7, and 8. What's your favorite, Steve?
Well, I kind of like the one you made today, honestly, probably because I hadn't seen it before. You showed me all the other cards yet.
So between these two.
Yeah, it's something about the gold on the white that I think is really elegant.
Okay. Okay. Well, if you want, you can tell me your favorite. I love coming here and sharing with you on Wednesdays, and please come back next Wednesday. I'll also start my mystery stamping at noon on Friday. And again, I know I mentioned it before, but if you would go to my blog, stampingmom.com, or my Facebook page, I would love it if you would vote for my card in the international contest too. Have a blessed day. You can also write in the comments and let me know, what do you want to see next week? I would love to show you what you're interested in. So have a great day, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.